Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about how you can build a sellable website. First and foremost, when you're creating a website at all, I think the bottom line is don't think about trying to make a quick buck and selling it off the bat. You have to create value immediately. So what I do recommend is when you're looking at creating a sellable asset, in terms of how you want to value your website down the road, this is a resource that you want to save for later, bookmark it. You can look at feinternational.com. That's F as in Fred, E as in Eric, international.com. And they have resources on how to value your website. So the first thing I'll say when you're trying to create a sellable website is you want to look for repeatable and scalable traffic sources. So, how many sources of traffic does your website have? Is it mainly coming from Google AdWords where, your traffic is going to be shut off once they stop paying? Or is it scaling over time from Google organic, right? Is it stacking and stacking? You're getting, hundreds of thousands or, millions of visits. And at the same time, if you're doing well in Google organic, that's great. But do you have other sources of traffic that are coming in? So, all you need to do is just go to acquisition, all traffic, look at your channels, see how things are going over time. You want to be creating, scalable and repeatable traffic sources. And just keep in mind, you want to diversify at the same time.
Make sure your website has really clean code. I try buying websites all the time. I'm trying to buy another SEO website right now. And when someone has messy code, I don't touch it. For example, if I'm trying to buy a blog and it's not on WordPress, I won't touch it. I hate blogs that are run like in custom templates and backend systems. Like no one wants that. They don't know how to deal with that. So make your code really easy to use and understand, because if someone else can go in there and their people can adjust it, great. If they can't, then you're not going to get as good of evaluation. People don't want to deal with it, and it's much harder to sell.
All right. And the other thing is also, in addition to having a clean, in terms of having clean code, you want to have a clean layout and a design as well. So you don't want to just, have a site that looks like it's an affiliate site from the 90s or something like that. Nicely designed websites convert better and they make people feel better as well, right? So it's probably more important to have the better converting website. But clean layouts and designs is super important. You don't want to have a cluttered website where you're trying to get people to overthink about things. And then also, you do want to have, in addition to a clean design, you do want to have a clean backlink profile as well. So you can use a tool like Ahrefs. You can use a tool like SEMrush as well. Probably Ahrefs is better for that, and Majestic SEO. But look at all the links that are coming in. See if there's anything bad that's going on. Also use Google Search Console as well, because if you have bad links coming in, well, then they might negatively impact. Even though Google is saying they do ignore, it's still better to clean up what you can clean up. So you do have using the disavow tool to try to get rid of dirty links. Just take them off, take them into a list or an Excel sheet, whatever it is, and then just put them into the disavow tool, and you're good to go.
Think long term too. Anyone who buys your website doesn't want to buy it and then lose all that revenue in the first 12 months. Most people or a lot of people, not most, but a large portion of the websites that I see for sale these days are doing things like private blog networks to skyrocket their rankings, or doing shady link building, as Eric mentioned, have clean link profile. Don't do shady stuff, or they're ripping off content or creating like really shitty content, just stuffing it with keywords so they can get a quick hit. What ends up happening is, even if that site that you created uses these tactics and you're making money, the buyer knows that it's not long term. They're either going to have to clean it up, which is a risk, or they're going to have to start from scratch. And it's like, no one wants to deal with that. People want to just buy a website and approve upon it. So make sure you're not doing anything that's unethical or taking shortcuts, because, hey, it may give you a quicker revenue boost and may look better. But once someone opens up the hood of your website and they start digging in, they'll see what you're doing. At least the savvy buyers who will pay a decent premium for a site, and none of them will touch it.
One more thing you want to look at is stability of income as well. So over time, people, whenever they're trying to acquire an asset, not just a website, they do want to look at, trailing 12 months. What was your revenue? What did it look like? Is it going up? Is it down? Is it stable? So people want to acquire something that's stable and looks like it has potential to grow. So there should be a level of income upside for the buyer too. You can't just give them a depreciating asset, right? You're going to increase your chances of selling it. First of all, the buyer can feel confident in what the website has to offer in the future, which is something we did recently when we bought a website for one of my businesses. And yeah, I mean, we saw the potential from it, even though it looked like the revenues were flat for a very long time and there wasn't much going with it. We did know that we could basically leverage what was going on already, make a few tweaks, and we saw the possibilities there, and we decided to pull the trigger.
Yeah. The other thing you have to do is if you're going to build a website and just for flipping it, make sure you pick a big enough market. If you can generate $5,000 a month in income, the buyer doesn't want to end up buying it if they know the max they'll get it to is 6,000 or 7,000. They're looking for, hey, you're already at 5. Maybe I can take this to 15 or 20,000 a month, hypothetically. They're looking for bigger niches. So don't pick a niche that's so small that, yeah, you're the dominant leader, but there's nowhere to go other than down, right? Because you've already done so well just because there's barely any competition out there. So pick a big niche. It could be fitness. It could be insurance. It could be mortgages or home or real estate or whatever you want. And you don't even have to be a big player in that space, but people like big niches because they know the possibility of growing something to being really big or 10xing or 100xing your business is still possible. Maybe really hard, but the possibility is still there just because the market's so big.
Yeah, and going back to what I recommended earlier, definitely look at FE International's way of how they value websites and look at the type of sites that they're selling. I think last week I saw a site that they had up. It was generating about $74,000 in net income. It's in the gaming space. So you get an idea, like if you're trying to get into the gaming space, for example, well, that's what it looks like. And then they have, a couple Facebook pages that you can acquire too with, overall net a couple million followers. Being educated about these things so you're not going to lose your shirt when you try to sell your website is important. So you can look at feinternational.com, you can look at flippa.com, you can look at empireflippers.com. There's a lot of these out there, and you're going to get an idea of what your site's actually worth and what kind of multiple you can sell it for and things like that. So Neil, anything else to add before we hop off?
Yeah, put processes in place, whether it's running the website or growing it or doing the marketing. Write down everything, document it, put the processes in place, teach people how they can do it step by step, even if you weren't there. It makes it so much easier for the buyer and it puts them at ease. So then they're like, oh, I just bought this website from John. I'm not worried because he broke down exactly how to do everything step by step without him. And people want that. No one wants to buy a website and be like, all the knowledge on what I need to do is left in the old owner's head. I'm screwed. You don't want to give people that feeling.
Yep. And what's that tool called? Okay, yeah, there's a tool called sweetprocess.com. So you can use that, or you can just use simple Google Docs, right? Or just put them onto documents, organize them into folders, and make it easy for people to scroll through. So anyway, that's it for today's episode of Marketing School. We hope you guys build a sellable website. Tell us what happens when you do, or tell us, or just email us when it happens, and then we'll be happy to list you as a case study. So anyway, we'll see you in tomorrow's episode, and that's it.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.